Okay, what we have here is the BMW N63 engine. These engines are notorious for having timing chain issues, and they're also notorious for having valve seal issues. You can, in fact, indeed replace the valve seals either inside the car, or you can do like how we're doing it out here on the stand. Right now, we're going to show you the process on how we do them over here. What we like to do is fill the cylinder up. We make sure we fill it up with air. I usually use about 85 to 90 PSI. What that does is that keeps the valve up. We want the valve to stay up, so that way when we release these little locking pins, we don't want the valve to slide down and inside the cylinder. So usually the 85 to 90 PSI will keep it up, and we're gonna demonstrate on how we do it, and we're also gonna show you how bad these things get and what they should look like versus what these ones look like. So here we go. There's one keeper, and there's two keepers. They kind of came together. We'll put those to the side, and then we'll go to the next one, and we'll do the same thing. Oop, this one's a little stuck. Sometimes you get a little stuck. You kind of have to move them around a bit. There we go. We got this one broken free. And let me just get out my magnet, and then we'll grab the other two keepers. And then we'll take the springs out, and then we'll take the seals out, and I'll put them side by side so that way you can see what a bad one looks like versus a good one. Push this down. You want to make sure you get it pretty deep when you're pushing it down, so that way you can get these keepers out relatively easily. Blow the magnet, they come out nice and easy. So now you can slide this tool out the way. Slide this out the way for right now, just so that way you guys can see. We'll take the springs out. As you can see, the air is holding the two valves up still. Now we're going to take our special pliers, and we're going to remove each valve seal. And use the grip them. Pull up, comes off. Grip it. Pull up, comes off. These are a special little tool designed just for this. It has teeth inside here. They go around here. They grip it, and then you pull. And that way you don't damage anything. So these are the old ones. As you can see, look at the size of the holes. We're gonna grab some new ones and see exactly what those ones look like. So let me grab the new one. Here are the two. Here is the new one. As you can see the difference in the diameter in the hole. Look how wide this is. Look how small this is. This is not going to seal at all. And what ends up happening is the oil that's supposed to stay on top of this to keep the valve lubricated actually ends up going down in the combustion chamber, sliding down here, which causes oil consumption and, worst of all, smoke. So now we're going to sit there and change these. We're going to put these back on. We're going to put a little oil on the top and the bottom, put a little oil on the valve here, so that way they slide over easily. Usually they have a little sleeve that'll prevent this from binding up on the valve right here. There's like a little ridge or a little nipple that the keepers sit in. They usually have a sleeve that will make that nice and smooth and slide down. This one didn't come with it, but we can still manage without it. So here we go. Put a little oil on the top of that. We'll put a little oil on top of that. And put some oil in here. And put a little oil in here. Now what we'll do, slide these over very carefully past the little lip. And push it all the way down, and then we'll do the same thing. Slide it over carefully and push it all the way down. Then I'll get a socket and an extension and a hammer just to seat it all the way to the bottom. So what this does, this just sits around the edge of it. We just give it a couple little light taps just till it hits the bottom. Now we know bottom's out. We hear the tap, so we know we're all the way down. It doesn't take much at all to get them to see. And so now we do the reverse process of putting it back in. Put the springs on top, and we'll have the retainers are in them still. And we'll just put that right on the top. I'll put my bar back over, and then I usually like to get a long screwdriver. Yeah, what I usually do is get a long screwdriver. I'll grab a little bit of grease with it, and what ends up happening is the grease will help to keep it stuck. So as you can see in this picture right here, there's a little bit of grease, and there's the keeper. What this does, kind of holds it onto it just like this. I put it at the end, so that way when we push the valve all the way down, we can drop it in there. So let me show you what this looks like. Switch positions. We want to make sure we push this as far down as we can. Drop that down in there. And then what we do is we just kindly push it over to the other side, lift this back up, and then we grab the other keeper. Still have enough grease on there, so we don't need to put another one. This holds it on, same thing. Push it all the way down, as far as it can go, and boom, now it's locked on. Then you move on to the next. And then we just repeat this process. This car has 4 valves per cylinder at 8 cylinders, so repeat it 32 times. But it's the same process for all, or for each one, I should say. All right, now we'll set up there. Let me get the keeper and grease. And we'll finish this one off too. Just push this as far down as we possibly can. Stick that in there. Oops, kind of slid. This time it slid. Let's not get it to slide. Okay, there's one. What I'll do is I'll slide it around, slide it around, slide it around. Lift this up so we can reset. Then I'll get a little more grease. Grab the last keeper. Do it one more time. Do it once again. So here. Oh, this one wanted to be a little difficult, but we'll try to get it. And there we go. And that is how you change them. Like I said, you can do it in the car, or you could do it outside the car. We ended up pulling this motor doing everything outside the car because it also had a timing chain issue. Those ended up breaking, so we ended up just taking everything out. Decided to perform this service as well, being that the car was starting to smoke and consume oil, so we figured we just knock it out all at once. Unfortunately, N63s are known for having timing chain issues and having valve stem seal issues. Another way to prevent this is do your oil changes and stay on top of your oil changes. This motor only has about 80-some-odd thousand miles on it, and it should not be this dark. This is what happens when you do not do your oil changes regularly. And this will end up happening. You'll get the little premature wear on the valve seals, and if you look at these little holes right here, you will see that there's oil, gummed up oil in all of these. This is from not changing your oil when you're supposed to. It makes that much of a difference. So please, always change your oils. Thank you.